ready? We ready?
Almost.
Got me.
Hey.
Can you hear me out here? Can you hear me?
I can hear me more than I hear you.
What's up? We are the Freestyle Freaks on HamiltonRadio.net. And, of course, it's Monday. My right-hand man is on my left today. So we have a special guest.
Yes.
Of course, this is Billy the Kid here.
How you doing? How you doing?
On my left. And we have Miss Dr. Shirley Gaines as our guest.
That's right.
Before we get in why she's here, I want to touch base with, of course, Billy. I haven't seen him in a week. We don't talk much. He doesn't talk. He don't call me or anything. So I wanna see what he's been doing. So Mr. Billy.
Yeah.
What did you get into this weekend? Or what did you do all week? Like, I see you one day a week, and you know you're always doing something. So what did you do?
I put in a lot of work to promote upcoming comedy shows, not just my own, but for other promoters as well. Like Nina Dawkins has a show coming up. It's like in support of women. All the proceeds go to the Women at Home Front. I actually have tickets for that. So definitely get at Billy Thomas on Facebook or Nina Dawkins on Facebook. I've been moving around trying to book acts for my event for Billy the Kid's Wild Wild West Comedy Fest. The person I've got coming later on this month is from has HBO specials, has BET specials. Nice. The person I have coming next month has an even bigger platform. So like my names are getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm bringing in acts, and you know they're willing to work with Trenton, and we're bringing in a lot of just good talents, like some familiar faces from like Martin Lawrence First Amendment, from Def Comedy Jam. I don't want to drop.
The question is, are you bringing funny people?
Hilarious.
That's
undeniable.
It don't matter who you bringing, as long as they funny. They're gonna pay. They're gonna drink. They're gonna have fun.
They are.
You know what I'm saying?
The acts that I have coming are undeniably funny.
I want to crack up.
You
I want to go
will.
out, so that's. You're working on a couple big shows.
Yeah, I could almost place a bet. If you come to my show and
the show
and you don't laugh,
you
get your money back.
I want to go to.
Yeah,
you know the show that I want to go to.
Yeah, and that show is coming later on this month. If you come to that show and you don't laugh, your money back.
I'm gonna try to be me. I can pull it off. I can pull it off. So don't go there.
Please try.
Billy just sent me with so much ammunition. I'm gonna be good today.
No, please try, because my strategy is, if you try to go in there with the screw face like you're coming to court and you're not coming to a comedy show, I'm gonna have the comedians pretty much focus on you to make you laugh. I'm like, listen,
do that.
No, listen. I'm like, listen.
I got zingers.
I'm like, listen, that guy right there.
I got zingers.
Use your best jokes just to get a chuckle out of him, because we made a bet. If he doesn't laugh, he has to get his money back. But if he laughs, that's it. That's all I want. That's all I want to do. I just want him to laugh.
A lot of people out there know I laugh, but it takes a lot to make me laugh.
Yeah.
You got to really make me laugh.
Yeah. And I got undeniably funny acts.
And most people who are watching would agree that when I take a picture, I look like a serial killer. I look like a killer. I look mean.
You got the straight face.
I always get that. Why don't you smile? And I'm like, well, I think I take better pictures when I don't smile.
But if you know him, he's like the sweetheart. You're like, oh, that's Ralph. Yeah, it's Ralph. He's adorable.
Listen, my weekend went pretty well. Of course, yours was busy booking people.
Yes.
Miss Dr. Shirley Gaines.
Yes.
How was your weekend? What did you get into?
My weekend was busy.
Busy.
My weekend was very busy but productive.
That is good. That is good to hear. Miss Shirley Gaines.
Yes.
You are from Trenton.
Yes, I am.
And you're a candidate for the Westward.
Yes.
Correct. And I was reading a little about your a little bit about the profile, and I like your catch, your phrase. Each one help one, reach one.
Yes.
That's like right there. That's an amazing. That right there is community. That's. I know we were talking about this right before, about community. That right there speaks community to me. What are your thoughts about how to engage in our community right now and today in Trenton? What are your thoughts on that?
I think the best way to engage in our community the community has to get involved. Your neighbor, like each one help one, reach one. The only way to engage in that, you're my neighbor. I need to know who you are.
Absolutely.
We need to come together as neighbors to help rise our community,
Absolutely.
to make our community better. So I think if we all come together and work together as a community, that's when change will take place.
That's perfect. Great reply. What is your thoughts about how Trenton is rolling right now? With what is happening in Trenton, all the I guess the issues regarding the water, the issues regarding the what's going on in City Hall, what's going on in the media surrounding Trenton, crime, jobs, economy. What are your main focus? I mean, I'm not even gonna. What are your main focuses on? What is your plan?
Well, my main focus right now for the city is public safety, because that's a big issue right now. And public safety, it just doesn't consist of violence that's going on in the city. Public safety, abandoned buildings, abandoned homes, where people can come in and do illegal stuff.
Yeah, that's
and that's a public safety, issue. So I'm concerned with public safety. I'm concerned with the quality of life.
Hold on, excuse me. This is
Oh,
Ruben.
sorry.
Ruben does his usual in the camera view kind of. He every show.
Okay.
You could if
I'm
you're
okay
a
now,
fan of Ruben,
Okay.
you could check. I'm serious. Every single show, look back on my Facebook, and you can see every single show. He finds a reason just to go in and
Oh,
just
God.
look. Here you go.
I'm good, Ruben.
Now he wants to
Okay.
get wants to get his head in there. See for all the Ruben
Oh,
fans,
God.
for all the Ruben fans, you can catch him on every segment in the beginning of the show. Okay, on every show of ours.
Adjusting the microphone, which he
Adjusting the
already
microphone.
could have did before we started the
Handed
show.
Billy
but-
some water,
Yeah.
and so we were really interrupted by Mr. Ruben. No, shout out to Ruben.
And I'm concerned about the cleaner streets. People constantly saying Trenton is dirty.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's not. Listen, in my perspective, it's not a dirty city.
Right.
It's just an unkept city.
Exactly.
Where I came from in Trenton, and I'm from different parts, my mom moved me around Trenton all over the place, so I bounced from one neighborhood to another.
Right.
But when I was growing up in Trenton, no matter where I was from, no matter where I lived in Trenton, there was always somebody watching my ass. If I did something wrong, they were gonna kick my ass and then tell my mom that I did it. So no matter where I was, somebody was always looking out for me and looking out for each other. I think that we need that.
And that's the Trenton. First, let me back up for just a minute. First, I want to thank you guys for having me on your show.
Thank you.
And it's such an honor to see BJ once again.
Yeah.
I remember him when he was a kid hanging out with Zane.
Yep.
So I'm very proud to see what he's doing. So I just want to take that moment and just really appreciate the both of you.
No, listen,
for allowing me to be here.
The honor is ours. Listen, is this our first official time we ever had a doctor on the show?
Yeah.
Like, so listen, it's an honor. It's not every day somebody, on your caliber taking out your time to come see us, with the cameraman back there.
Shout out to my husband.
Shout out to
Bishop Sidney
the
Gaines.
bishop. It's like I said, it's definitely an honor. Definitely an honor.
Well, I'm honored to I'm honored to be here. But to get back to what you were saying, I'm really concerned about, of course, the public safety in our city.
Yeah, I think it's
a big issue.
There's a lot of great features of Trenton.
Yes.
And it's it's great. I appreciate you mentioning that Trenton safety issue. Listen, nobody of the white color, and I'm just keeping it real.
Okay.
I'm a minority. I'm from Trenton. But white people sometimes say, "Oh, I'm not going to Trenton. I don't want to get shot."
Yeah.
And it's sad that people. Yeah, I'm not saying that everybody. You know, I'm
Right,
just saying
understand.
that's the norm. That's the mentality that people get. I don't want to get into Trenton. I don't want to go into Trenton. I'm afraid of getting shot. I'm afraid of getting messed with. I'm afraid
Right.
of getting bothered. I'm afraid of getting robbed.
Right.
You know, and it is very, you know, that right there. How, you know, that's number one. It's safety.
It's-
Public safety for our neighborhoods.
Exactly.
You know, it's time for, you know, us to take the neighborhoods back.
Exactly.
You know,
And
in a good term. You know, bring the community back.
exactly.
You know?
And as being a candidate, if the people in Trenton say I am their next council person, that is one of my top priorities, is to change the image along with my colleagues, to change the image of Trenton. There's a lot of good in the city
Absolutely.
of Trenton.
Yes.
There's a
A lot
song.
of historical, a lot of history.
Right. There's a song out by Ty Trippett called It's Good in the Hood. And it is good in the hood because people say it's the hood, but you have so many talented people
Absolutely, man.
that live
Oh my
in
God.
Trenton. You have smart
Trenton's
people.
a mecca
You have
from-
smart people
Yeah.
Yep.
in Trenton. You have people that have a heart. You have people that are caring and loving.
Amazing
and
athletes. you know.
Exactly.
Every year, at least every year, once a year, twice a year, you know, there's always somebody drafted
Exactly.
into a professional sport. And it's
Exactly.
amazing. It's great and it's proud. You know, it's humbling and proud. I'm proud to hear that. You know, when you read
Yeah.
the paper, man, he's going to the NFL.
Yeah.
Man, you know, he's going to to play football. You know,
Absolutely.
It's and the artists.
It's
you know, the
amazing.
musical artists. You know, the artists. I'm talking about artists. The whole full spectrum of artists. There's so many artists. You know, out in Trenton. So many
Yes.
gifted, talented people in Trenton.
Yes.
You know, we all come from different walks of life. We all different. But you know what? Trenton is such a talented city, such
Yes,
a
it is.
historical city.
Yes,
it's
it
the
is.
capital of New Jersey, and we're ignored like we're not. You know, I want to see Trenton come back as a positive light.
I always
you know?
say with God's help and with the right people in office,
it can be achieved.
it can be done.
It can be done.
Nothing is impossible. Sometimes I strongly believe that sometimes things have to happen in order
Absolutely.
to raise the thing back up.
Absolutely.
And
It's-
Trenton has gone through so much in the last few years
Yeah.
that now, like you and I talked before we came on the air, now the people want to take their city back.
Yes.
And
Well-
when you have everyday normal people like me, I'm not a politician.
You don't look it. You don't look it.
But I have a heart
That's
and
all
a
it takes.
passion for rebirth and regrowth for the city that I love. I'm a Trentonian, born and raised. I went to public schools in Trenton. I was born in North Trenton. I lived on Summer Street growing up as a kid, Summer Street and Wayne Avenue. And I remember Trenton. And a lot of people say, "Oh, you don't need to." No, yes, we do.
Yeah.
We need to talk about how good Trenton was and still is.
Yeah.
So if we just bring the right people together, we will rise again as a city. I know right now we have all these issues, but my focus is really not on the issues.
No,
my
it's
focus is on the solutions.
the action.
Because anybody can say, well, let's blame the mayor. Let's blame the council seat. Let's blame everybody at Trenton Waterworks. Everybody want to play the blame game. What's the solution? Because we could talk all day and all night what the problem is, but what is the solution to the problem? So that's where my heart is.
No, I definitely
Solution
100
solving.
Listen, I couldn't agree with you more. You hit it right on the nail, right? You hit she went in.
She did.
You know, it's very for a person that's not a politician to see what the city really needs. And it's not another politician.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Doing it
Hey,
from the
listen,
heart.
I'm not calling
compassion,
out any
and
politicians, but you know,
From the heart, compassion, and experience as well.
it's
Right.
it's normal people. It's I'm very humbled. I'm so inspired this year about Trenton because Trenton, normal people. I talked about this last week. Normal people are running, for office.
And I'm a
I
normal
know a
person.
lot of people, normal people like us. It's like me and you. Could run for office.
Yeah.
And Trump winning didn't it sent a ripple, and we understand he's not a politician. If he didn't have money, he'd be a normal guy.
Yeah.
And a normal guy took the office. Of course, he's not doing a great job, but we're not going to get into his thing. But he said something. It's time to drain the swamp. It's time to take back our seats. It's time to make a change.
Right.
And the ripple is that it's not just in Trenton, it's across America.
Exactly.
That people are now, creating change and running for office. People like you and me.
Yes.
And that's why I appreciate you. I appreciate the normal people, not your normal guys that are guys and gals that are on those ballot points. Oh, I know this guy. I know. I'll pick him. I hear it all I hear his name all the time in the news.
Right.
So you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I like the fact that the people running, like, it ain't about, oh, this one was popular, or this one bought their way in there.
Right.
It really is people like you actually do have, this history with, and people that are really familiar with the city. Like Dr. Shirley, you saw me as a young kid.
Yes.
Run up and down these blocks.
Yes.
As a menace.
Yes.
A menace. Like, you've seen that with your own eyes. Struggling, trying to find my way. And, here I am, the person that, that I am now. Ralph as well. I mean, we both ran the same streets. We ran in the same crews. We all know the same people. We got into the same trouble.
Right.
And to make that turnaround here, and to be on the radio show, to have a platform for people who are actually trying to, and like a change, and like the change that you're making, is exactly the change that we just experienced as kids growing up into adulthood. That's what we need the neighborhood to do.
Exactly.
Like, the neighborhood as a whole needs to grow up from that young, wild kid to a more established, okay, now the world is ready. Like, we're more ready and responsible to talk to the world now.
Right. And I don't want people to vote for me because they know me. Well, or they think I'm popular.
I'm gonna keep it slight little bit real.
I want
they're
people,
gonna vote for you because they know you.
But I want people.
More importantly, they're gonna vote for you because of the message that you are running by.
And not only that, and what I'm doing for the community already. I just like to share a few things with you. Yeah. What I'm doing for the community. So to let people know, let our audience know that I'm just not in it just to be in it. I'm in it to change it. I'm in it because number one, I care about the issues. And excuse me, because sometimes I get very passionate when I talk about it.
Listen, don't apologize.
So
we understand passion.
I'm running because, number one, I care about the issues that are plaguing our city.
They directly affect us.
I'm concerned about the quality of life in our city.
It directly affects us.
And I'm running because I'm confident, not conceited, I'm confident that I'm capable of bringing and making a positive impact in City Hall. I'm going to be a strong advocate for public safety, cleaner communities, quality education, fair taxes. I'm going to fight for our seniors.
That is right. Those 4 points are the 4 points to revitalize, reinvent the city of Trenton. Right now, Trenton, I see it's how do I say it? It's on its last limb, but it isn't. And you need to reinvent it. You need to revitalize it, somehow, some way. And those 4 points, very, very, very agreeable, understandable. That those are the points that
I feel like one of the most
changed.
I feel like one of the most important points is somebody that knows the city, and not somebody that has to get to know the cities. I mean, because like we see, like, you got a difference inside police officers, right? Like, you got police officers who aren't from the city of Trenton. So
exactly,
these streets are training for them when they're trying to find Walnut and like they're trying to like find Stuyvesant and feel their way through. And there's a difference from doing a job, doing your 8 hours and then clocking out. Then you have officers that are from here, and I can name a couple, man. Jamar, Booker, Christopher Munn, just to name a few, who, grew like were born in this city. Like they know these streets like the back of their hands.
Absolutely.
And there's a difference from having to learn this city and it's a job.
Yeah.
To a person that
knows.
already knows this city,
Yeah.
and it's not even a job. Like before you know it, you're like, wow, we have to clock out already. Like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, you know, like
Well,
where did the time go?
No,
A person
listen. Shout out
that's
to the,
one with the city, entwined, in tune. So like they don't have to find out what the issues are. Now, I can
Yeah.
tell you what the issues are right now because we talk about them every day.
Exactly.
It's gonna come out second nature. I can tell you what the issues are. That's why the solution is the forefront now. Like, no, we
Exactly.
ain't gonna talk about the problem because I hear that every single day.
Let's get that
I've been
solution.
focused on the solution.
quick
Exactly.
shout out to all the Trenton police out there
Yeah.
that are always working hard to protect us.
I'm actually trying to get.
Definitely a
I'm
friend
actually
of
trying to get one
Verizon.
on stage.
Shout out to you guys.
I'm
Definitely shout out to
I'm
you
trying to
guys.
get one of the
Wow.
Trenton police
Protecting
one of the Trenton police on stage. So don't be surprised, man, if you go in there and
Well, you know, I'm trying to give them shout outs and you're interrupting my shout outs. That is not a positive way to get people on stage.
these guys see me all the time.
Well, let me just say for as the Trenton Police Department, first of all, I want to give a very special shout out to Detective Nate Davis, and I'm gonna tell you why. Detective Nate Davis and Trenton pulled together a whole lot of us. I am a Trenton Police chaplain for the Trenton Police Department. I am the bridge between our community
That
and
is
our
great.
police department.
Amazing. To hear.
We encourage our police officers because they need it. Like you said, some of them are not from the city.
Exactly.
So they need that encouragement. Even those that are from the city, they need that encouragement. And you can find me, and I want you to know how I'm in the community. You can find me at 97%. Anything that happens in the city, you can find me there. You can find me at the hospitals. You can find me visiting families' homes who have been in their children or their loved ones have been hurt. You can find me at funeral homes being supportive. I'm very active in our community. So I'm just not a candidate just running. I'm a candidate that has been actively involved in the community.
How many years have you been actively involved in the community?
Well, for years, but within the last 4 years, I took it to a whole nother level. For the last 4 or 5 years, I just took it to another level. I became partnerships with an organization, Partnerships for Trenton, with Paul and Janet Perez. And what we do for the last 4 years, we take between...
Shout out to Paul and his wife. Great people.
We take between 250 to 350 of our inner city kids to Blairstown, New Jersey, where they stay 5 days, 4 nights. They get involved in the STEM program. They learn teamwork. They do swimming, hiking, canoeing at no cost to the parents. And we do that because we want all the kids in Trenton to experience what it's like to be a part of a camp. Because a lot of our parents, they're working 2 and 3 jobs just to survive.
Most of us can't afford it.
And they can't afford it. But I'm grateful and thankful that we can do this for our inner city children. I'm also a part of an organization called Not in My Neighborhood. And we're a grassroots organization that was formed as a result of a tragic death that took place on South Clinton Avenue in Trenton. And so what we did, a group of us, shout out to Pastor Mark Broach, we came together and we said no more shooting in our neighborhoods. We're taking our neighborhoods back 1 street at a time. We marched down City Hall. We rented a casket during the summer. We pushed that casket down the street.
I remember some of the. I was actually working that day. But I was definitely eye opening to the reality of the violence and the the crime that's happening in our streets.
That's why we, as a community, and that's why I'm running. Because I want to raise up the standards.
It's a lot deeper. To
It's
me,
deeper.
To what I get from you, it's a lot deeper for you as you're running more like a mother that's caring for her kids. I don't know. I'm sorry that I've
No.
kind of referred that, but
no, that's
you know,
good
you're,
because
you're there.
I'm caring.
It seems
I'm
that
very
you're,
caring.
You're there to comfort everybody. You're always there to. You're there. You're
Yes.
the voice.
And I want to. I
and
want
you've been
to.
a voice for 5 years.
I want to be the
definitely amazing.
voice.
Definitely amazing.
I want to be the voice for the city, and some of my experiences that I'm bringing is going to be my background. I'm a certified professional life coach. I'm certified in mental health. They said a lot of the problems is mental health. So I'm certified in the areas that can help our city. Like I said, I'm certified professional life coach, certified in mental health. I'm a licensed counselor. My PhD is in clinical religious counseling. So I'm equipped with the things that can help raise our city up. I'm experienced in finances. I don't have a degree in finances, but I took up a training to give me the experience that I need to help with our budget, to look at that budget and say, okay, with the team, how is this going to help better our community? With me, it's going to be all about the community. Okay, if we want to pass these laws and these ordinances, how is it going to help Trenton? How is it going to help the residents of Trenton? If the bill is not going to be where it's going to help our city,
that's great.
I don't want no parts of it. I want something that's going to help. How can we help enhance Trenton? Trenton is historical. How can we raise the standard back up? So that's why I'm running for Westwood Council, because I'm passionate. And even if I don't win, I hope to win, because I'm in it to win it.
Absolutely.
But if I don't win it, I'm going to continue to do what I've been doing in the city of Trenton. That's not going to change.
And listen, sometimes
that says a lot.
Listen, you alone, without running as a public figure, you know, it seems that you have been doing this. It seems that you, without having the title, that you have already been this, you know, the title that you're running for, a councilwoman, right? It seems to me that you have been like a councilwoman without the title. You know, you're talking about, you've been doing this for the last 4 years, you know, without titles, because you care.
Yes.
Listen, the first thing is to change Trenton, you have to care.
You have to care.
You have to have some passion. You have to listen. You have to want to do something.
Yeah.
To make something better. And that's what, listen. I definitely applaud you. What are your views on how to revitalize some of, you know, infrastructures? I remember you were talking about, you know, abandoned buildings. You know, what should we do? I mean, I do know that the last, you know, the incumbent administration were giving houses away for $1. But here, you know, the catch was you have to rebuild them. You know, listen. What about me? What if I want a house for $1 and I pledge to fix it? But it's going to take me a while. I don't have money. Let's say I live check to check. You know, could it get to a position to where that could be something where the people, normal people of the neighborhood, can get a house and they can fix it? Because when you take interest in something that's yours,
you value it.
You value it more.
Exactly.
And what's happening in Trenton is there's a lot of landlords. Okay, so half the time the owners are not there.
See, you're talking my language.
Listen,
because see,
listen, I look like, listen, I don't look like I know what I'm, you know, but
no,
I understand.
you're on point.
What's going on.
No, you're on point.
And
My thing is this.
Trenton needs the leadership.
Yeah,
we need to take these houses back so we can, you know, remember we were talking about people don't wash their, you know, sweep their sidewalks.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I
remember
remember
watching the old lady sweep her sidewalk.
I remember
come out with bleach.
Oh yeah, throw it on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell is she doing?
She's
and
cleaning
early
the
this
street.
morning.
Cleaning
and
the
you know,
street.
6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You're about to go to school and there's some lady
cleaning
her street.
I
It
was
doesn't
raised up
happen
like
no
that.
more.
Well, see,
why? Because we don't own our homes.
And not
And
only.
I'm not saying just a few of us. I'm saying that a lot of us.
But see,
don't own our home.
It's not. You're right, but it's not even that we don't own.
But
What this is the problem.
How can we change? My question was, how can we change these sites, the falling apart structures, the historical structures that should be saved, that are not being saved, that often Mr. Christie said, the hell with them.
Yeah.
Who cares? I don't have.
Unfortunate.
But listen, Trenton's a historical site. The Revolutionary
is.
War took a turn in Trenton.
Yes, it did.
When George Washington took,
Yes.
Trenton, Christmas Eve, or it was Christmas Day,
Mm-hmm.
with nothing.
Yeah.
With nothing. We took that was the pivotal turning point
Mm-hmm.
where America started its
Right.
path
Well,
to
the
what
fir-
we are today.
Right.
Why should we ignore it for what for what is becoming? We can make it a better place.
We can. Well, the first thing that needs to be done.
My question is, how do you think we can do with what is your plan to revitalize some of those structures?
My first plan is this: make people accountable. See, when there's no accountability, people do anything they want because nobody's saying, you need to take care of this. So my first thing is make landlords accountable. See, we have landlords that don't even live in the city, but they buy up all the property.
They fix them up and rent them out.
And the city, and they don't have the heart like you or I would have. So I think the first thing that we need to do is make them accountable. Do they get fined? Yes. There is a thing with the taxes. I was talking to someone on
$250 a day.
No, there's a $5,000 thing that they add on to your taxes. When you pay taxes and your property is not there, is a $5,000 thing that's added
to the city.
And so what we need to do as a community, the community needs to start fighting.
Absolutely.
I don't mean get out there fist fighting. I mean,
I'm talking about no.
I mean,
listen, I want to,
I mean, get out there and say, look,
make a change.
I live here. Right next door is this bandit building. Go down to City Hall and say, can you tell me who? And they will tell you who lives at 3222. And they'll say, they'll look at the sheet and they'll say, this belongs to Mrs. Jones or Mr. Jones. And they can tell you whether the taxes are current on that property. And you can ask, well, what is being done? And you as a resident can file a complaint and say, as a result of this, we're having all kind of illegal stuff going on in this building. This building is bringing down my property taxes. If you are a landlord and you keeping up your property, but then next door is something going on, you should be able to go down there and say,
absolutely,
because I can't rent my property out because of this. When you start holding people accountable, things gets done. Long as we sit back and do nothing, we're going to have the same problem. So my thing is solution. Everything has to have a solution. I'm holding you accountable. Your neighbor, if your neighbor don't cut the grass, we need to have something in place where we get a bunch of kids that's looking for money and they want to get school clothes or whatever. Have those kids go out there, cut that lawn and say, excuse me, you owe me $35 because I cleaned up. And if a person can't do it, let somebody know, look, I'm getting up in age, or I'm just sick. I can't keep, can your son or your daughter, can they cut my grass and I'll give them something? So we have to get the community involved if we want betterment. If we're going to have abandoned buildings, we need to start crying out. Nothing happens when we shut up and do nothing.
Yeah,
nothing happens when we complain.
I remember seeing a video.
When we complain, nothing happens. But now when we start standing up, saying enough is enough, our communities will get better.
Yeah,
we won't have abandoned buildings in our areas.
Real quick, about a month ago, Paul,
Yes, he did.
He focused on a part of Trenton.
Yes, he did.
That was just being a like a landfill.
Yeah.
And it was people living, normal houses, and
yeah,
it was so overrun by trash that this was, I remember seeing this video that the site that the people would come out and their front yard was full of trash.
It was
and
terrible.
Proactively, Paul, gathered a couple people, and they actually made a difference.
See, that's, you said something valuable.
And exactly what you just said is exactly what I'm seeing. That has to happen more.
And see, it starts with council. that incident you're talking about with Paul Perez, he reached out to George Michelle, and I have a lot of respect for George because I've reached out to him on several occasions. People have reached out to me and said, can you help me with this? Can you do this? And I said, you know what? I can only go but so far, but I know someone who can. Now, George is he's the councilman for South Trenton. Paul is running for mayor of Trenton. So the example that they set is, it doesn't matter what ward that you're in. We got to come together and work together as a team. The only way anything is going to get accomplished if we work as a team. And what they showed was teamwork, because teamwork makes a difference. That's my saying.
Yeah.
Each one can help one.
Yep.
So if we all start reaching out to one another, we'll get the job done. And that's what Paul and Councilman George did.
Yeah,
shout out to George, because George stopped me in the middle of my job last week. Yeah, he did. And he was doing exactly what he does. He was in the pickup truck.
Yes.
And he was going around and just picking up trash and monitoring stuff out South Side, and stopped what he was doing and stopped me while I was working just to come over there. And, we chopped it up for a little bit. I told him, I was, proud of his accomplishments and everything. He gave me a business card, shook my hand, and kept moving. So shout out to George.
There
man.
we go. And see, that's what we need every council person to be.
Yep.
It's important to me that council work together. Now, we have to come together with the understanding we don't always have to agree, but we can agree that we're going to disagree sometime, but yet we're going to get the job done.
Get something done. Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Somebody keep asking about re-entry.
Re-entry.
Okay, re-entry. Okay.
Second chance.
Okay.
Re-entry.
When they get out of jail and stuff.
Well, I mean, my thing is, and I've mentioned it. I've mentioned it. I think that what's going on across America is that minorities, take up most of the space in prisons,
absolutely,
in jails. I'm not taking anything away from anybody, but what I'm saying is, instead of just locking in our city, let's not listen. If we can't change the world, we can't change the United States. Like you said, let's try to change our city. Instead of locking up everybody, maybe we can. Instead of hiring people, let's bring back actual community service.
Exactly.
And listen, instead, it's so much better. It benefits everybody. You put out, instead of locking them up, you're modeling him to learn the life of a jail.
Exactly.
You show him a different path. And you could light a spark in his mind. Change his way of thinking.
Exactly.
Make him clean the neighborhood. Make him learn how to, to do something. Teach him a trait that he has to benefit. Listen, you committed a crime. Listen, I'm not saying we can't lock up everybody. Yes, we have to lock up the murderers. We have to lock up the rapists. We have to lock up the people that rob banks. Of course, I'm talking about petty crap. If you're doing something stupid and you get locked up, you shouldn't go to the county, for something stupid. Put them into, instead of giving them a record, him or her a record, and tarnish his life for where he can't pay taxes, or he can't file, for credit, or he can't go, get an actual job in society and be a part of society and be a pillar of his community where you yanked him from, uprooted him from. Give him community service. Put him, he did something crazy. Hey, here's a park. Here's the lawnmower. Cut the thing. Clean it and make it beautiful. You know what? Guess what? Not only it saves money, it keeps him out of jail, and it keeps our taxpayer dollars out of the prison owner's pocket. Because guess what? The prison owners are the ones who are benefiting off this, not the city of Trenton. And we don't have the money. I understand.
Right, but what I think. What
do you think we can do?
Well, this is that's a good question. Whoever asked that question, I think reentry is very important on this wise. Everyone makes a mistake one way or another. It's not one person in my mind that hasn't done something stupid in their life.
I think I made 10 mistakes today. Okay.
But
Listen, they're not crazy mistakes, so don't start questioning and don't you get any ideas. But
right.
you know, I forgot to give you $1. Oh, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
You know, let me give you the $1. Oh, I forgot to lock the door. Oh, let me lock the door.
Right.
Stuff
We
like
do-
that.
we do
Nobody,
stuff.
We're all
Right.
human. We're not.
Exactly.
We're not created perfect.
Perfect. So
know,
I think that everyone, and this is coming
all
from
deserve a
this is
second
coming
chance.
from Dr. Shirley Gaines. I believe that every man, every woman deserves a second chance. You take a person that was hooked on drugs. They got a second chance in life. They cleaned themselves up and they made something of themselves. So why
I see it
not
every
give
day.
I do too. So why not give that person that has been incarcerated a second chance? See, the problem is this, and this is Dr. Gaines' opinion. My opinion is this. If a person goes to jail and they come out and they try to better themselves, and if I start knocking them down, throwing in their face, well, you did this, you did that, that's taking away hope from them. That they're saying, well, nobody won't give me a job. Nobody won't give me an opportunity. They're going to keep throwing up in my face. So if I'm doing crime, I might as well go ahead and continue. No, that's not what we want. What we want to do, we want to give a person a second chance when they come out, like you said. Let's find a job skill where they can learn. And there are plenty of jobs today that hire people that have been locked up. And a lot of things, and for you that are listening, they can even vote. Long as you're not on parole or probation and all your fines are paid, you can vote. People be saying, oh, you got a felony. That's not correct. Long as they're not on probation and they don't have any fines,
they
say
can
vote.
They say that so they don't allow the person to vote.
Exactly.
Because remember, you know what they say, your vote counts.
And
If
they
you
don't
can't
want it
vote,
to count.
You can't count.
Exactly.
And, you know, it's like the lottery. If you're in it, you're gonna win it. If you're not voting, you can't change it. You can't make yourself count.
That's
so
right.
You gotta,
So
you gotta vote.
give everybody a chance, because you know what? We all have made mistakes.
Absolutely.
And I think it's wrong of any of us. And I don't want to be the candidate or the council person not to be able to forgive someone for what they did. Because you know what? One day somebody forgave me. One day I yelled at somebody. I might have did something. I probably was having a bad day. But yet somebody forgave me. And so we have to have that mind setting of everybody deserves a second chance.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We have too many witnesses. There is a gentleman in Trenton, and I'm not going to call his name because I didn't get permission to do it, so I'm not going to embarrass him, but he did a lot of time in jail. He got out of jail and really made something of himself. I'm very proud of him. He is setting examples that you can change. You can make a difference. So why not give people a second chance? I don't understand it. I mean, goes back to solutions. You give a person a second chance, they'll do better.
Miss Shirley, Dr. Shirley Gaines. Growing up, what were your inspirations?
Oh wow.
I'm sorry, I threw a wrench in that one, like.
Yeah, growing up. Growing up, I was a Diana Ross fan.
Nice. Diana Ross.
I wanted to be another Diana Ross, but better. I looked at people that were making a difference, and it had a positive impact on my life. I looked at my parents, and I watched my parents. My parents weren't the perfect people, but my dad worked every single day. 8 kids. My mom and dad got to a point when I was 10 or 11, and they said they were done with one another. So my mother took all of us kids, but she taught us that it doesn't matter where you live or what your circumstances are. You can always have better, and you can always do better. I had school teachers.
100% agree with that.
I had school teachers growing up, and they were very supportive. I'm going to share a story with you that had an impact on my life. And I think maybe this is why I'm the way I am today. I remember being in 12th grade at Trenton High. And because my mother was trying to focus on so many of us kids, because it was 8 of us, she really couldn't get involved in things that I was involved in school. I was involved in sports and track. I was in talent shows. And I got to a place that I didn't think anybody cared. And I had a neighbor, and my grades started dropping. And I had a neighbor, my next door neighbor said to me one day, he said, you know, I'm very proud of you. And he started naming a lot of the other kids. He said, because you guys aren't getting in trouble. Y'all hang out together. Y'all going to be graduating high school soon. And I'm so proud of you. And when he said that, that sparked me to get my grades back up. And I had teachers that didn't pass me to pass me. They helped me to get my work and stuff in order. And that left an impact on my life.
One person.
It was one person. Well, I had a lot of great teachers that I'm grateful for. And to answer your question, all of that impacted my life. Having someone to speak in my life, learning from my parents, learning from my older sister that taught us the importance of voting at a young age, and just being around people that cared. And I think a lot of that rubbed off on me. And I think that's why I'm the way that I am today, because of that. But I was going after Diana Ross, though.
Shirley. I've been calling you Dr. Shirley Gaines.
That's okay. Time. That's good.
But we're just going to, since we're almost done.
Yeah.
Shirley.
Yeah, that's good.
If growing up, who was your hero? Who was your favorite hero? Like, if you could be a hero, who were you going to be growing up?
Wonder Woman.
I'm a fan. I was a fan of hers.
Oh, God.
Lucy Lawless, right?
Yeah.
See? I do that on the top of my head.
I loved.
That's when you realize your age is.
I loved Wonder Woman growing up because I saw positiveness. Yeah. I was a fan of this. What is it called? The $6 Million Man. I'm gonna tell you why.
I remember watching that.
I was a fan of that because it looked like he was broken, and all I kept hearing was, "We can rebuild him again." And that stuck with me because it doesn't matter what challenges you go through in life. If you stay focused, like the city of Trenton, we can rebuild it again.
We can.
So I was a fan of I was just positive. I liked it.
I like one. Did you see the new movie?
Not yet.
You gotta watch it.
Don't worry.
You have to watch it.
I'm going.
The new one.
Oh, the new Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that.
Did you watch it?
Did I see the new Wonder Woman? Oh, did I see it?
Was that a good movie?
What? Oh God.
Hey, we
God.
We can't even start. There's not even nothing. No words.
I saw the new Wonder Woman. Matter of fact, I took my husband with me. I said, "Come on, babe, we got to go see one." Let me tell you,
great movie, right?
I was in there crying.
When she gets
so good.
The one of the hottest parts of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're slightly moving, but we're talking.
Yeah, we're talking.
We're just getting to know each other.
Uh-huh.
One of the hottest parts of that movie was when she's in the trench, and all of a sudden she says, "I got to do something," and she pulls out her sword and she just starts tearing people down. Yeah. And these guys are like, their jaws are like here. Like, what? And she comes like, "Oh, everything's done." Like, that was a great movie.
I was a fan. I thought you was talking about that new movie they was talking about.
Do you know she was in Israeli Special Forces?
Really?
Yes. She did most of her, some of her stunts. But she was Israeli Special Forces.
You go, girl.
That girl's bad. Not only she fine, but she bad too.
Wow.
So she great movie. I'm a fan.
Wow.
What's your favorite music? I know I'm trying to.
No, but you good. I'm a lover of all different types of music. I love gospel. You might come to my house, and I might have classical on. I love jazz, a little R&B. See, music was something that I always wanted. That was one of my things that I wanted to do growing up. So I'm a fan of music. I mean, you might catch me listening to opera. I mean, I just love. I'm music.
I'm with you.
So it's not like I have one. I appreciate and respect music.
Well, being a DJ, I don't know if you know I'm a DJ.
Oh no, I didn't know you're
yeah,
a
I'm a
DJ.
DJ.
Good for,
Yeah.
What don't you do?
Well, I mean, radio hosts have to be somewhat DJs. We have to
Okay.
be some kind of knowledgeable in music. But I, on my downtime when I'm driving, to be honest with you, since we're just talking, chilling
Yeah.
here, I often listen to Etta James,
Oh, wow.
Armstrong, Jimi
Wow.
Hendrix.
Wow.
Just lounge. Like
And don't you feel good when you listen?
great music.
Yeah.
It's just good music that I listen to. Like so I can I listen to
I appreciate
Armstrong.
music. Yeah.
Oh my God, Mozart.
Wow.
It's true. I definitely do
Wow.
listen to this stuff. I have it in the car. I turn on my car. My playlist is old music, oldies.
See, because
And my oldies
they
is,
had a message.
We're going back.
Back.
I listen to everything.
Yeah. Music is soothing.
Yes.
And I think when you're having a stressful day, just put some nice music on, and it puts you in that place. So I'm a lover of music.
Great question.
All music.
Great reply. Real quick, your shout outs. You have any shout outs?
Shout outs. Well, of course, my husband who's here, we've been married for 37 years.
God bless. God bless.
Thank God for that. I want to give a special shout out to my two sons that I just love dearly. I call them T&T, Tyrone and Thomas. My sons. I'm very proud of them. My sisters, Pat, Diane, Teresa, my mom, Helen Geddes. I love you, mommy. And just my family, all my Trenton police chaplains, not in my neighborhood. God bless it. My specials, my advisors, love you guys. I'm Veronica, just the whole First Chronicles of the Living God Ministries. Thank you guys for praying for me. I love you and appreciate you. And if I didn't mention you, I love everybody.
Great. Listen, Billy, I think you got beat on shout outs.
I did.
I think she just threw it. I said shout outs. She's
I've
like,
never got beat on shout outs
that was
before,
good.
but she got that one.
Go ahead, Billy.
Don't worry, BJ. I still love you.
Go ahead, Billy. Get your shout outs. You still have time to get yours in.
They are my shout outs, man. Shout out to
You're
the
not used to somebody always shouting out.
like I almost have nothing.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to the Gaines, man, for coming through.
It's good
I
to
knew
see
y'all
you.
for a very long time.
Wow.
Shout out to Zane, for reaching out.
Zane.
Hold it. Zane.
The social media manager.
Thank you, Zane.
Yeah,
you know I love you, Zane.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sorry if I sounded mean on the phone.
Guess what? You might not know this, but Zane is your manager already.
He is.
You just don't know it
He's
yet.
I believe it.
Social media campaign manager.
Yeah.
Social media campaign
Let me
manager.
tell you,
That's
Zane
his new
called
name.
me and told me tonight. He said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I need you to be there, and you got to be there." I mean, he said, "It's important." He said, "This is important." I said, "Okay."
He was on you. He was on
Yeah.
you. He's pushing.
He
He's
was on
pushing.
three-way. He was like,
Oh, he told me. He told me to hold on.
You got the address, lady? I got this. I got this for you.
Yeah,
I got this.
yeah,
Yo, I got
yeah.
it.
He
I
was
got the number.
pushing. He was
Yeah,
really pushing. He was
listen,
calling me all
much
week,
love,
man.
Zane.
I couldn't
Much love,
disappoint Zane. I had to get here.
I actually seen him the other maybe a couple weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
We were driving and we just waved to each other. So it's always a pleasure to see him.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody as a part of my life. Shout out to all the viewers and listeners all around the world and locally. Shout out to Hamilton Radio.
Yes.
For
definitely
always
shout
giving
out
us
to
a
y'all.
platform.
Except for
Yes.
Ruben. Everybody except for Ruben.
No, thank you, Ruben.
Much love to.
She's nice.
much
I'm
love
not.
to Hamilton Radio.
Exactly.
Always.
Thank you so much, Ralph.
Always listen.
You're welcome.
And I always tell Billy, every time he's looking for somebody funny, all he has to just appear there and just stare at the audience.
I had to wake him up over there. He was too quiet.
I was trying to be good. But
Okay.
He was trying.
Shout out to my wife, my daughter, everybody's a part of my life. Again, listen. Shout out to the Gaines. Shout
Thank
out
you.
to you, Dr. Shirley.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you for coming on to the
Much
show.
Much love.
And just,
Thank
and
you.
just having a
Just relaxing. Just
just chill.
Thank you.
Uh,
Just kicking
That's
it.
right.
Again, peace out. Listen, if you want to be a guest on my show, you got something to bring on, bring it. We always love having people on. Listen, if you need a DJ, listen, I still DJ. You can hire me. I'm still a DJ. Just because I got a full-time job, I do three different things in life. You can still hire me. I'm still a DJ. Listen, if you definitely need a comedian, that's funny as hell. Definitely funny. Listen, you can hire him, or you can catch him at his shows at the Wild Wild West. Billy the Kid's Wild Wild West. He'll tell you right now.
That's right. Billy the Kid's Wild Wild West Comedy Fest every last Thursday of the month. We will be at Champions 931 Chambers Street, March 29th. Headlined by Comic View from BET and also Def Comedy Jam and Stress Factory, Tommy Smooth. Next month, we will be there April 24th. We got huge names coming in, comedian talent. We coming off tour from the New York Kings of Comedy tour to bless Trenton stage, man, with his presence. So we doing bigger and better things, man, and it's all happening at Champions right now, man. So y'all better get down there while the location is still what it is, man, because we taking off. We, you know, I could feel we ain't gonna be there forever. So come on down there and be a part of what we got going on now.
And another thing, listen, make sure you get out and vote.
May 8th.
May 8th, the election. You know, we're not bringing guests on as candidates just for, you know, just for the hell of it.
Wake up out there.
Wake up. It's time for us
right.
to wake up and physically take our streets back, take our neighborhoods back,
That's right.
take our government back, and govern ourselves.
That's right.
Like it used to be. So you gotta get out there and vote. And again, peace, much love.
Much
Thanks for
love.
watching us. We're the Freestyle Freaks. I'm Ralphie Rotten. This is Billy the Kid.
That's right.
And our guest, Dr.
That's
Shirley Gaines.
That's
May
right.
8th.
May 8th, vote for her.
Yes.
And we're out.
All
Peace.
right.